welcome to Hyzer Productions of the Southside Showdown. This is round 2, front 9 coverage at Jefferson Barracks Park. Alright, we got Andrew Presnell, Zackeriath Johnson, Aaron Walther, and Seth Wood on the card. After round 1, it's a very tight race right now with Andrew and Zackeriath being tied at 11 under. This is the final round of the Killer Bee series. Aaron Altstadt for being here on the mic with.
Thank you.
We got the St. Louis Disc Golf Club, who got all 4 courses that were used in the Killer Bee series in the best shape, especially for late summer conditions. So hole 1 here is downhill, 463. You got OB down the whole right side. The pin's up here in a long pin location marked by the little stake in the ground. We'll see Zackeriath throwing first. He's 11 down and going for the forehand, trying to hit that left side gap. But anything on too steep of an angle is just going to die into this hillside. The other good approach for this hole will be the right side backhand Hyzer route or turnover route. Andrew, this too just dies into the side of the hill there. They're both outside circle 1, back edge of circle 2. Aaron's trying to take his left side Hyzer route. Stayed out there. Got some work left.
Seth Wood going for that left gap there. Gets it turnover perfectly. Ends up, looks like almost circle 1.
There's Zach's upshot. Aaron now. Aaron's upshot, yeah.
Upshot puts it under the basket. Andrew hoping to cash in on a birdie here.
Good bid.
Barely missed.
Closer than I thought he was. Seth now with the CTP for starting off round 2.
Just short.
Just off the front of the cage. It's been a consistent miss for him today. So it looks like everybody's going to par out. Zackeriath waiting on somebody on the other hole, I believe hole 8.
Smart play. Can't take those shortcuts for granted.
Alright, hole 2, playing in the long pin, 440. It's downhill from this point on. The OB doesn't really come into play long or left. There is a walking trail to the right, but it would take a huge tree kick to get over there. There's two gaps off the tee. You can take a forehand or straight shot or this Hyzer route that Zackeriath's chosen. You play it into the hillside, you should be able to get a good counter skip off the hill towards the basket. Andrew going for that same route.
Good looking shot, looking at circle 1 at the basket. Aaron looking like he's going to take the center gap.
Just squeaked it past that tree. He's going to be short and right over in the tall grass. I think that grass wasn't mowed because it was wet earlier in the week.
Seth Wood looks like he's going to be taking that right Hyzer look.
Here's everything.
It. Circle 1. It's a great shot.
From here, Andrew's got a basket's below his feet. And then Aaron's putting uphill. He had the height and the distance, just a little off target.
Zackeriath here has looks like a downhill look at the basket. Just off the basket, no roll away, most importantly.
Seth's birdie bid. Well done.
Great putt.
Well done.
That's a good stroke to get while everybody else is getting their pars.
Look at that. That went from the top banner to the top of the cage. Went straight down. Elevator putt. Andrew to clean up his par. Moving on to hole 6, they're playing the 369. You got to throw over all of this down below, straight into this pin location. It's not on the stump, as you can tell. The hard packed dirt green can allow for some crazy skips and rollaways. Definitely something you just want to set up next to it, get it close, so you don't have to think about your putt. Really fun hole, one of my favorite holes on the course. Seth's drive comes in just below the pin. The basket's straight off of the tee as far as elevation goes, but it drops so far down. You're thrown across this little valley here. Good tree kick by Zach.
Here's Andrew. Sends a little high. Lands just below the log there, but he's got to look. Aaron sends a turnover shot.
Once again, squeaking past all the trees around the outside trees. Pin high. Yeah. He's going to have a nice flat putt up there.
Zackeriath splashes out. It's a tough pill to swallow. That hit a lot of chains.
Oh, that one.
Seth almost squeaked out too.
Yep. Andrew from about the same spot as Zach was.
Doesn't get the same kind of luck. Made sure he kept that one on the right side of the basket as well.
I don't mind an uphill putt like that, like something I just visualize throwing up into the band.
Aaron's got
He does have a little
tough
bit
foot
of
location.
Foot in here for his straddle putt.
Cashes in.
Good too.
Kind of a death putt from there too.
Moving on to hole 4 here, we're playing in the short pin just behind this oak tree. There's OB right side on the walking path, but besides that, it's just 261 straight towards it. Seth, after the only birdie for the last 2 holes now, he's making some strokes on the cards.
Puts it right under the basket.
Well, 2 birdies in a row. Andrew had one in the last hole along with Aaron. This is another one where you're kind of throwing over a small little valley through a gap. Not as demanding as the previous hole, but it's a little tighter off the tee, more in your face. And if it airs out like that, you're downhill away from the pin.
It's going to be tough to come back from.
And you're putting at OB. You got it high, but it's going to stay clean. Got a good roll towards the pin. I'd probably be looking at trying to throw a overstable putter just out to the right. Make sure it comes back.
Yeah, I'd definitely be taking a suspect or something, trying to send it to the
even
right side of that tree. Zackeriath just couldn't get it there either.
That's the danger, is just anything that comes short of the tree, the slope is going to amplify the miss.
But you also don't want to play it too long, because that road next to the tree makes it difficult. Smart layup there by Andrew.
I have a feeling Zach feels like he's in a spot where he needs to run it. I'm thinking about the OB line.
No, another splash out.
Can't tell if it went through the outside layer of chains, but it hit playing.
Aaron's back in it now.
Yeah, that's 2 for him in a row. This will be 3 in a row for Seth here. And then pars for our leaders. Going in the hole 5, besides this tee shot right here with the hanging limb, everything's open all the way to the green. There is the 2 guardian trees that are pin high, but the front of the green is pretty much open. OB doesn't come into play long or right, as long as you aren't crushing 500-foot drives. You just don't want to be short. Anything in the thick stuff there, you will have a hard time moving forward.
Seth gets a great skip forward over the waterway there.
Bunch of boulders and a log. Just clear that. That's all you got to do in this hole. It's downhill from there. This long pin has a slightly slope going back up from it, but
that brush right there.
Yep.
That brush right there in the middle of the fairway makes this hole a little interesting.
It does. Like the limb that's hanging off, you can kind of see in the top right side of the screen. It makes it look like there's a small gap that you got to hit, but anything just like 3 feet left of there and it's wide open.
Looks like all of our players are playing pretty smart and playing to the left side of that branch. Zackeriath sends it just a little too far left. He's got a tough look. He sends it just off the basket. He is on point, and that's a rough roll away.
Again, Aaron off the front of the cage. There, Zach's got one to stick when he needed it for the par. Seth's coming back. This is for 2. With an excellent drive.
Great putt. That footing on that washout would be pretty tough. It's a good thing he skipped over it. Andrew with the par. Moving on to hole 6, we're going to the C-pin location, about 340 feet.
As you can tell, it's heavily guarded with those thin pine trees, and then you got the low ceiling oaks all the way to it. The ground is pretty compact, and it's a spot that doesn't see a lot of sunlight, so you can be sure that you might be able to get a skip here. You can kind of play it for this hole.
Andrew, it's a little high, but it sneaks through the trees. Puts it just past the basket.
Yeah, good forward momentum. Carried him probably right around 7 to 10 feet. Aaron's gonna try to take that. Looks like you try to take that wide left route. It's coming in early of the trees. Yeah, he hit the first one there in the middle.
He was really playing with that OB line over there too.
I was talking to Zackeriath, and he's been throwing this all week, and he's got a metal flake destroyer here. That's his go-to power forehand.
No skip. Serious.
Velcro grass.
The difference between like what's out there where it's getting the sunlight and able to grow, and then where Aaron is here, you can definitely tell where it's just more patchy. And
Aaron puts it up just a little short. Disappointed in his putt, as you could tell. Zackeriath, it's not on. Those other 2 or 3 putts are getting in his head. Seth with the birdie
hanging
putt.
on. It's at 4 in a row for him now.
He's on fire. Andrew hoping to finish off strong. Puts his center chains.
Welcome to Van Man Discs. This place is beautiful. You play disc golf right out the door.
Van Man Discs, located at 1524 Clinton Hills Parkway in Swansea. Open every day. vanmandiscs.com.
Moving on to hole 7.
Straight away, got OB on the left side, and probably the closest OB to having a factor to play. But the basket's off to the right here, and it's about 317, plays away from that out of bounds road, and the hill slopes towards it, funnel stuff down into it. You don't want to be early right. It does get thick over there. Slow turn over here would be great. Just had to stay off those limbs.
Seth caught some early cabbage, leaves himself pretty short. Andrew gets a turnover here, hoping it comes back.
There's an early miss that you don't want, an early miss right.
Aaron catches a little bit of limbs there, but he ends up short of the rough.
So through the first 6 holes, Zach hasn't had a birdie yet. He's allowed Seth back into it.
What a great shot.
He about put it in. Just a little shorter and bigger skip. So maybe he can put this birdie drought on hold. Seth, on the other hand, has had 5 in a row since hole 2.
Puts it right under the basket.
That'll be left for par. Andrew. He's been battling back and forth against pars and birdies.
Puts it just short of the basket.
Good bid coming out of there. Aaron's a little more open on his throw here.
A little high.
That tree get a good stop. He didn't want anything to roll or skip further away. So Zackeriath hoping for first birdie of the round 2 for him. Get that train going.
That footing's a little tough over there.
Slope downhill. Don't want to pull up it. Release it early. Andrew for 3. And then Seth to come in. Get his 3. Alright, going into hole 8. This is probably one of the longer holes that they'll see on the front 9. We're playing to the, I believe, 531 on this backside of this hill here. There's OB down the left side, but the players are going to be throwing things, throwing discs that go out right, either the forced turnovers or flex turnovers and forehands. Roller, air roller here. Lays it down perfect. The grass is thick and going to slow it up, but he couldn't ask for a better roller. Throw what you're comfortable with.
Seth looks like he's gonna keep this up in the air. He gets skinny through the trees.
Wow,
Laces it.
Did that turn over or just get a redirect?
It's hard to tell. Either way, he's got to look at an eagle. An unsafe look, but it's a look. Andrew getting that turnover.
Great full flight for this. Came into this front 9 with a tight battle between the top 3, and right now Andrew and Seth are kind of up there to 1 point separates them. Act like they had a 5-stroke lead. There's only 4 strokes between them and Aaron here in the top 4. Great throw. Out in the open, away from the trees. You don't have to worry about cracking any knuckles or running into anything.
These upshots are going to be interesting because the hill slopes downwards. Could easily get a bad roll away here.
Oh, he left that way short.
Aaron's still got to look over the logs.
There's more natural obstacles that you like.
Yep. Zackeriath here, putting it right
Great
under the basket.
That'd
Nice
be
and
for-
safe.
Before a birdie there.
Andrew gets a tough roll away, but he's still got to look at it.
It's settled in, yeah. Could definitely been a lot worse with that slope.
Risky backhand there.
Once of that's just going to glide flat. Get it on edge where it rolls or hits one of those rocks underneath the basket and just rolls out. Ooh.
Aaron barely misses the basket.
So Aaron's got this comebacker for a par, I believe, or is it bogey now? Yeah. That's going to be for a 4. It's a good comeback. Never like being the one that has to do the most work on a hole just to get a par.
But it feels good to get that scramble in. Andrew finished it off strong there with the birdie. Everybody else tapping out for their birdies.
All right, hole 9, back towards the parking lot. Here we go. It's 340 feet. Steep uphill climb once you get across the bridge in the middle of the hole. The basket's just a little higher than the players are from the tee. Forehands, backhands, whatever they're comfortable with. Again, just throw something hard. Probably plays around 360 with the slopes. Perfectly executed there by Zach. He'll be inside circle. Seth looking to take the same line.
Also perfectly
Well
executed.
done. Pin high. He's have a bit of a view from that comebacker with the sloping away from the basket, but he's been hitting them today.
What a
Everybody.
great shot. Within circle one there for Andrew.
Pressure's on Aaron to keep it up, keep him close.
Gets his distant
Oh,
turnover a
that
little
looks great.
much. But
Good air bounce.
coming back.
Good
Within
ground
circle one
motion.
as well.
Yeah. There it is. Now he's
Zackeriath.
sticking them. He's going to go 3 straight birdies to close out the front 9. After starting the first 6 holes, just even par.
Seth just leaving a little short.
Needed that to tie Zackeriath.
Got some sirens in the background, making this hole a little bit more difficult for Aaron. And
Off the front of the cage. I feel like we could have definitely had a different story at the leaderboard here on about 6 of Aaron's putts. That's going to take Andrew to 16 under with 9 holes to go. 3-stroke lead. 2-stroke lead.
Aaron knows he should have backed out of that putt and reassessed the situation.
Well, thanks again, everybody, for joining us for the front 9 of round 2 here for the Southside Showdown. Our players had a VIP treatment on their tee pads, no brims, just a leaf blower. With Zackeriath and Andrew Presnell still in a deep battle. Andrew's got maintaining a 1-stroke lead. Seth is right there. A couple missed putts towards the end after starting out with 5 birdies in the first 6 holes. And then Aaron's just hanging on. He had no blemishes. Nobody on the front 9 had any bogeys. So see us for round 2. Back 9 coverage here on Hyzer Productions.